If you are not black, if your skin is not brown, if you are not melanated, then you do not have the right to come under my videos talking back to my people. Your opinions are not wanted, nor are they relevant. So why do you feel like you need to come and keep saying something to my people? You need to ask me my permission before you speak or comment on my videos. You come under my video and say, Lord, may I please have your permission to say something? Then you wait for me to give you my permission before you start tapping, moving your little pasty fingers around on my page. You people have been talking way too much for way too long, and your time is officially up. It is Black Power forever.
And we are live tonight from the great state of Florida. Welcome everyone to the VinceDao Show. I am your galaxy-brained host, VinceDao. It is June 22nd, the year of our Lord, 2023, and we got quite the show for you today. Got to react to a different number of viral TikToks. It's one of those libs of TikTok days, you know? Several of them trending all over conservative Twitter today. We got to react because they are quite funny. Also got to talk a little bit about this very tragic Titanic sub situation, but the kind of aspect of this story that actually ties into some of the TikToks we're going to react to here, because there's an open question genuinely, and I don't even mean this to pile on. I mean this in a serious sense, that diversity hiring might be at least a part of the reason why this whole situation happened the way it did. But before we do that, everyone be sure to leave a like right now on the stream. Subscribe to the channel if you are new. We are currently on the road to 200,000 subscribers. So if you want to do that, feel free to do so. Also, if you've got questions or comments that you want read and answered, feel free to send it in via the super chats. I will check these super chats as usual regularly throughout the night. We do our Q&A portion at the end. Your support for this show is greatly appreciated. One more thing before I begin, gotta let you guys know, this is going to be the last show of the week. I won't be doing a show tomorrow because I'll be flying to Dallas, Texas for an event this weekend. With that said, you guys know I do have many friends out there in Dallas, so we will try to look, no promises, no set schedule yet. Gonna try to look at doing some collaboration content, some like group podcasts and stuff while we're there. I don't know if it's gonna be live or pre-recorded, whatever. I don't have any of that sorted out yet, but just stay posted. No show tomorrow, maybe some stuff over the weekend. All right, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, let us get into our final show of the week. It is the Hour of Dao. I don't know why I knocked on the desk. Hello, time to start the show. Real. It is the Hour of Dao. Let the insanity commence. Let's get into the show tonight. Okay, well, first story tonight. Did diversity hiring play a role in taking down this Titanic submarine? And I know first and foremost what you're going to, Vince, there's no way that's inappropriate. You're piling on. But considering, you know, everyone does want to make this conversation political for some strange reason and do all that stuff, I need to bring something to your attention that actually does matter in this conversation, not just in the context of the Titanic, but in the context that, you know, you may see many more situations like this happen in the future as this diversity hiring phenomenon gets more, common, we should say. First and foremost, though, I do want to, of course, give my condolences. It is a tragic situation, to say the least. I will also say, though, consider, you know, there are a lot of people piling on about this. They're making fun, basically making fun of the people for dying, saying they're stupid for going in the sub, all this. I'm not here to say any of that. You know, going underwater, not really my thing. I've always been kind of scared of the ocean, but I will say you do have to sort of commend them in a sense because they died a noble and, you know, I won't call it a heroic death, but definitely an eventful, you know what I mean? They died pushing the limits of human discovery. And there's something about that, you know, I can't just pile on or make fun of that. You know, most of this country, this continent was founded by people who broke the limits of human discovery and pioneered and all of that stuff. And it's quite telling, you know, the current state of our society, and you wonder why America is partly the way it is. What happened to that pioneer spirit that went across mountains, crossed oceans, all of that stuff? Well, you know, considering most Americans look at not most, but you know what I mean. So many Americans look at a situation like this and they make fun of them and they pile on in the situation. Really does tell you to a great degree why our country is the way it is. So, you know, that's what I will say. But getting into the actual aspect of this story I want to talk about, of course, you're probably thinking, Vince, there's no diversity hiring. I know it's a talking point. You're just trying to politicize this. Is that necessarily the case, though? Because multiple journalists have actually dug up the fact that, according to here, the Titanic CEO said he did not hire 50-year-old white guys because they weren't inspirational, okay? So he went out there and proudly said, I'm not going to hire old white guys because, you know, the diversity, equity, inclusion. And when you compound that with so many other aspects of this story of lack of safety regards, I'm not saying this is the only one, but it's a compounding effect, right? You know, you guys have heard the submarines being controlled by this little PlayStation controller. I've heard parts of the sub that are usually made of metal were made of like silicon-based carbon. You know, there's so many different red flags here, obviously, in this situation. And people are going to point out, yeah, well, the sub wasn't safe. Of course, that's part of the reason. Well, who helped build the sub, right? I do think genuinely we need to have a genuine conversation about this, okay? And if not just about the Titanic or the submarine here, about a bigger thing here in our society, right? Because diversity hiring, the reality of the situation is, if not here, then it's going to happen somewhere else as well. Diversity hiring is going to get people killed in society. I understand when you go to the DMV and it's very slow, it's just like, okay, whatever, right? You look at Bud Light doing this nonsense, and our corporations, they got to hire a useless officer. Okay, corporations lose a little bit of money, waste time. What's the big deal? But genuinely speaking, right? We understand this. What happens when the diversity hires pilot the submarines, you know, sail the ships, fly the planes? You are going to see real situations in this country, and I virtually guarantee you, where airlines, and I know, God forbid, obviously, but what happens when the airlines are diversity hired? The drivers for stuff, construction, whatever, you know, all the different stuff that you can't mess around with this, oh, the DMV's too slow. You're going to see this. You are going to see this. And I think, you know, obviously I'm not going to say too much right now. It's an open question. It's something to look into. But when you compound that with all the other stuff people are talking about, look, the submarine was unsafe. Look, freaking all this nonsense. And then you add on, hey, look who was working for that company. It certainly does tell you a lot. And that actually ties in very well here to our first TikTok of the night. We got a few liberal TikToks here to react to. But our first TikTok here of the night is a little bit similar in this regard. So check it out. Check it out. Remember I talked about airlines? Here you go. Let's pause on the screen right here. Okay, chat? All right. So the TikTok reads, when you remember that you're just a silly 22-year-old teenage girl flying around hundreds of people in a jet all day. Okay. So, you know, you thought, oh, Vince, you're exaggerating. Diversity hiring's not that big of a deal. All right, well, then let's break this down genuinely, okay? Just instinctually. Because I know someone's going to come to me saying, Vince, I don't care. If she's good at her job, she's good at her job. Yeah, is that how you actually live your real life? You know, when you see a cracked out homeless person, do you assume they might actually know astrophysics, or do you kind of use stereotypes there to make your decision? So a 22-year-old girl, which first of all, it's shocking that 22-year-olds, man or female, can fly airline pilots these days. But you got a 22-year-old woman on TikTok drinking Dunkin' Donuts and making her TikTok, and she herself calls herself, oh, silly 22-year-old girl. I'm so silly. I'm so quirky. That's what's flying your airline? Get a grip, people. You really don't see a problem with that? You're really not concerned about that at all whatsoever? Okay? It's ridiculous. Of course you are concerned. And this is the reality. Like, God forbid, I don't want anything to happen to her or any of these people. But let's just have a serious, honest conversation about it as a society. Nobody believes. I'm sorry. Nobody looks at this video and believes that this woman is qualified to fly the plane. I hate to say it. Nobody deep down believes that. And how long until we as a society just have a realistic conversation where we're like, yeah, 22-year-old girls who are on TikTok drinking Dunkin' Donuts and, oh, I'm so silly. I'm so quirky. Maybe I don't want that to fly my plane. Is that sexist? Is that wrong? Is that something? I don't know, but it's correct. It's reality. Nobody's going to live their lives realistically like this. Okay? So, I mean, if I saw this flying my plane, I would be concerned. You would be concerned too. You can pretend you genuinely live your life rationally. Oh, well, I wouldn't say that because, maybe she knows she's the best pilot ever. Yes, there is a possibility that is true. But, when you live life, you have to play probabilities, okay? So, yes, if you go into a crime-ridden neighborhood wearing a watch and driving a Lamborghini and all this stuff, yes, technically, well, maybe everyone I run into that day is not a criminal, not going to carjack and rob me. But do you live your life like that? Or do you live your life based on the odds, based on the probabilities? That's the thing here. And, just weighing into this whole situation on a larger picture, just because partly because I want to cause controversy because it'd be fun, but also partly because I genuinely do believe this, and I think this is an interesting conversation. I remember Andrew Tate got very famously canceled for saying this, but he was actually right in the situation. Hate to tell you, this TikTok reminds me of a greater phenomenon. Which is, and let me just say it. Let me just go full out and say the thing that everyone is thinking, but they're too scared to say. Generally speaking, I would trust a male airline pilot over a female airline pilot. Okay? Oh my gosh, he said it. Okay? First and foremost, everyone deep down believes that, okay? I know I'm going to get into all my reasons why. I'm going to actually articulate, specifically the reasons why I say that. It's not just a made-up take. But before we even get into that, can we not have this silly little thing of, where nobody actually believes that? I remember when I saw Tate on that Barstool Sports podcast, and Dave Portnoy and everyone's like, no, if they were the best for the job, then they would be... That's not how deep down, everyone actually believes this, okay? But let me articulate the reasons why I actually believe it from a rational perspective, right? Okay. Why would I trust, generally speaking, a male pilot over a female pilot? Well, first and foremost, strike one is the fact that, as you can kind of imply from what you see on your screen here, in the vast majority of cases, considering this is the United States and we know how things actually go in the United States, you are safe in assuming that if you do see a female airline pilot, in all likelihood, she is diversity hired, okay? Because just consider the probabilities here. How often do females pursue being a pilot? Very rarely. It's very rare in society, right? And so, yes, hypothetically, maybe she's actually a really good pilot. But in the vast majority of cases, statistically speaking, you can assume that is a diversity hire. And you know what? Forget the ideology for a second. If I'm about to get on a plane, am I really going to think if she 95% is a diversity hire, most likely 5% chance she's actually a really good pilot, what's my rational instinct gonna do? I play the probability, I play the odds, which is precisely why I said on average, in general, right? Which gets into my second point. This is not to say that there are not a small minority of females out there who probably could fly a plane just fine and in a crisis situation handle the situation just fine, okay? It does exist, I understand how, but that's what I'm saying. I understand how averages work. I understand how probability works, means, medians, all that stuff. But what I am on the flip side saying is that, yes, averages do exist. Stereotypes, quote unquote, exist for a reason. And the truth of the matter is that there are average, not that they apply to everyone, but there are average biological differences between men and women, not just in terms of our strength, conservatives. I know, what is a woman, not just in terms of our strength, but in decision making, in things like our spatial awareness, right? Our reflexes, men have better instant reflexes, spatial awareness than women. That obviously matters when you're driving a car or flying a plane. Furthermore, handling stress. That's another big one we're going to talk about here. But decision making, spatial awareness, handling stress, on average, there is actually a biological gap between men and women. And in the same sense that, yeah, is there a small minority of females out there who are stronger than some men out there? Sure. But in general, in the same sense, you don't really want to see men competing in women's sports for the same reason. on average, I would probably suspect if a woman is flying the plane, on average, not that every woman is like this, but due to the biological differences between the sexes, I'm generally not going to want to trust a woman in that situation. And again, like I said, deep down, everyone, man or woman, deep down believes this, okay? I guarantee you, we're going to several comments right now in the live chat and on this video from women saying, Vince, I 100% agree with you. I wouldn't do it either. Because it's not a matter of like a gendered thing necessarily. It's like just everyone believes this. Man and woman, we both believe it deep down. Many of us are just too scared to say it for the political correctness reason. So hopefully I help everyone break this barrier here. Okay? Because everyone instinctually believes this, but they're going to come in my comments pretending that they don't, and they're going to act like Dave Portnoy. Actually, bro, I would trust a female pilot too, bro. Okay. So yes, I would be fearful to see a female pilot. Now, I know the counter argument I will get from some, which is this whole line of, well, Vince, yes, maybe on average that's true, but I want the person who's the best for the job. And so what do you say if this person really is the best for the job? I would say, well, again, I'm accepting, yes, there is a small minority of cases in which it's probably true that this woman genuinely is a better pilot than so many male pilots. Perhaps that is true. However, still in that case, let's say that there is no merit, there is no diversity hiring here. Let's say that she passed all the tests, she can land the plane, she can fly the plane, she can do everything just as fine, A+ on all the grades, okay, fine. Hot take here, still with that said, I would still trust men over women to fly the plane 99% of the time. You want me to tell you why? Because, and again, this is biology, right? You can do all the tests. You absolutely can teach a woman how to fly a plane just fine. My big thing is the high stress situation, right? It's one thing to do flight school. It's another to genuinely be put in the position where that plane is going down, the engine is failing, whatever it is, and you need to be calm and put that plane on the ground safely. That is something that just cannot be measured in the course of flight school. You just can't. You can't simulate the stress. You can't simulate the impulse and how you would control that situation. I'm not even saying there's all men out there can necessarily handle it. However, I would generally trust a man over a woman to handle a high stress situation, again, because of why? Biology. Biologically speaking, men and women process high stress situations differently for a reason. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. I'm not calling on women to go, do the job of a man, but just the reality of the situation is every time there is, for instance, a mass shooting at a mall, okay, there's a reason why the very first thing you will hear is a bunch of women. What all the women start screaming and running, and very often who needs to step in to save the day, the vast majority of cases, the male cop. Why is that? That's not because of the patriarchy. I'm not even trying to particularly insult women or be anti-woman in saying this. I am just saying that biologically speaking, and we know this, break it down to the cavemen, who stands at the city gates? Who gets to leave and flee the war when it all goes down? Who's fleeing Ukraine and who's, forced to stay there to defend the country? We know this to be true. In that high stress situation, it's the job generally of men to save the day there. That's why we biologically are programmed to be heroes, to handle the stress. Not saying all men can do that. Not saying there's 0% of women who can't do that, but just saying, let's be realistic, right? Okay. And that's the reason why, even in that case, again, I don't know for certain. I don't know, but I'm just saying probability wise, if I were at 20,000 feet, the engine fails, I'm going to feel a lot more comfortable with a male pilot than a female pilot. Not just because of the male maybe is the better and the female's diversity hired. It goes further than that. It goes down to, in any high stress situation, frankly, a shooting, an airline going down, a submarine, whatever it is, right? In the vast majority of high stress situations, I am going to trust a man and a male's instinct to see us through than a woman's. What do you want me to say? And like I said, the vast majority of people actually agree with me. Everyone actually agrees with this. And people can, here on the ground, at sea level, at elevation, you can all sit here and say, no, Vince, no, I wouldn't. If you were ever, God forbid, I don't want to see you there, but if you were ever in that situation at 20,000 feet, I'm sorry, all that political correctness goes out the window. You would think the exact same thing, okay? So I know that was a long rant in response to this, but I did want to have a genuine conversation about that debate because I think it is quite interesting, but long story short, I actually saw a statistic today. I think they said since 2021, they've seen more instances of not plane crashes necessarily, but planes having problems, like they don't take off right, whatever it is, and whatever, right? Pilots just screwing up, luckily not fatally, very luckily, but screwing up in some regard. And I look at that and I'm like, why is that the case? Why is that the case? I don't know. Not just saying it's a gender thing. I think diversity hiring in general is probably happening a lot. Standards are slipping, but it is true. So let me know, chat. So do you agree with me? I haven't read the chat this whole time. I'll start reading it. In that situation, do you share my take that even all qualifications out the window, just the concept of stress alone, I would prefer a man to handle it than a woman? You let me know. So anyways, here, let me see. Let's get caught up on super chats. I believe we got one here. Small grading guy for $2 says, we must complete Manifest Destiny and annex Canada. Thank you for the $2 small grading guy. Here's my thing, though. If we annex Canada, what's going to happen? We're going to add all the Canadians into the country. See, I know what you're thinking. You'll do the Fallout thing where they're just like a military protectorate of, the United States, and I get that. The problem is, what's going to happen? The conservatives are like, boom, annex Canada, based, red pilled, and then the Democrats are going to say, haha, voters, everyone, make Canada a state, make all the Canadian states a state. So I don't know. I don't know. There are good resources there. There's good. They got oil. I said once, I was like, what resources did Canada have? Well, some of you guys fact checked me and actually explained there's a lot of oil and stuff there. So fine. But still, just playing around a little bit with some Pandora's boxes. But yeah, as usual, guys, if you want to super chat to support the show, it is greatly appreciated. But let's see the general sentiment in the chat. Yes. Yep. I agree. I agree. Everyone's saying they agree. Where's the woman, though? We need the female input, okay? Because when they clip this one day inevitably and say I'm like a raging sexist, we need to say, hey, look, woman said it, not me. I got the take from a woman. No, it is so true, though. It is so very true. All right, well, let's move on here. Again, if you guys do want to super chat to support the show, it is greatly appreciated. This will be the last show of the week, regular show of the week. We'll do something in Texas. I'll try to figure it out. But all right, moving on here. We got a lot more TikToks to react to, ladies and gentlemen. I guess diversity, quote unquote, is the theme of the night here. Okay, so there's this other TikTok that's going around today on conservative Twitter, and this went viral at a graduation. I'll just play it and you guys can kind of decide what you think about it, okay?
If you are not
wrong one. We'll do that one in a second. Okay, this is the graduation one. Check this out.
Okay, let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadija Diallo, and I'm graduating today. I don't like how you snatched the mic out of my hand, so today is gonna be all about me.
Oh, drops the mic. Congratulations!
So, I know what a lot of us are thinking here, but I mean, first and foremost, actually, I know what we're going to hear. If I make any criticism of this, oh, Vince, she's just misunderstood. Vince, you're only pointing this out because she's black and you're being racist or whatever. It's certainly not trashy and ratchet and just all the words out there to go up at a graduation and look at this, okay? Physically, this borders on assault. She's like physically fighting the principal or I don't know, whatever, doctor, administrator, whatever for the mic here, okay? She's like physically fighting for it.
Okay,
Let's go. You didn't let me get my moment, so I want to say my name is Khadija Diallo, and I'm graduating today.
And then catch us at the end.
You snatched the mic out of my hand.
Catch us at the end.
Today is gonna be all about me.
Today is gonna be all about me. I mean, that sums it up, doesn't it? That sums it up. And then, of course, getting cheered on by, is that her mom, her friend, or whatever it is? Just overall trashy and nonsense. And of course, though, if I say anything, what is that? That's racist. Oh, you can't, Vince. But she has the right to grab a microphone at a graduation ceremony and take it and literally say it's all about me and get cheered on by her mom or her friend or whatever. And if you disagree with that, you're racist, okay? And if you think, well, maybe no one's actually saying that, well, we'll take a listen here. Take a listen here, okay? Check out this next video we're gonna react to here.
If you are not black, if your skin is not brown, if you are not melanated, then you do not have the right to come under my videos talking back to my people. Your opinions are not wanted, nor are they relevant. So why do you feel like you need to come and keep saying something to my people? You need to ask me my permission before you speak or comment on my videos. You come under my video and say, Lord, may I please have your permission to say something. Then you wait for me to give you my permission before you start tapping, moving your little pasty fingers around on my page. You people have been talking way too much for way too long, and your time is officially up. It is Black Power forever. If you
Okay. So there was a lot there, right? There was a lot there. First of all, as you saw in the, you know, it's all about me thing, and hear her literally saying, like, I am Lord, you're going to ask for my permission. Literal God complex. Okay, that's first and foremost. I mean, there's a lot of things to say here. Of course, you know, with that said, then, you know, that's what I'm gonna say then. Every time I get questioned, I'm gonna say, just because all my takes are correct and they're objectively correct, and we know this to be true, I'm just gonna say, if your skin is not yellow, okay, if your skin is not yellow, you need my permission to speak. But it's quite funny. I mean, here's the thing too. Imagine the TikTok guidelines, right? So if a white guy came out and said, if your skin is not white, you need my permission to speak, that would not be allowed. But that's a genuine question. How many times a day do you think she comments on white people? I'd have to imagine every single day. Every single day it's white people this, white people that. So I, you know, probably don't actually do this, because then you're going to get canceled and they're probably going to want to kill you and, you know, dox you and all this stuff. But hypothetically, some white guy should make a stitch response video to this saying, well, if your skin isn't white, then you need my permission to speak, and just see how that goes. So, you know, just, I don't have much else to say. She just seems like a very miserable person. She, you know, for whatever she wants to say, I don't think this is the type of person that a lot of people necessarily would want to be around, want to be friends with. And I think it probably I'd have to imagine explains a lot in her life. But anyways, there's the TikToks, ladies and gentlemen. That was a shorter segment at the end. I didn't really have much to say to it, though. I didn't really have much to say to it. It goes to speak for itself, you know? There are many things you could say that reflect it, black privilege, all that stuff. And it truly is, because that video in particular, besides maybe, I guess, Hispanics too, but not even really, I don't, you know, no other race can make that video, right? Because like I said, could a white guy make a video saying, if your skin is not white, then you don't have my permission to speak? Yeah, what would happen to that guy? What would happen to that guy? Like I said, genuinely, I would find it to be funny if a white guy made that video in response. But let's be real. Like, nobody do that, because I don't want to see your life ruined. What would happen, right? We understand this. We understand this to be true. But, all right, guys. Well, let's see. It is 8:29 p.m. We got a few more things to talk about here tonight. Let's move on here. Again, if you guys do want to super chat the show, it is greatly appreciated. But, okay. Moving on here to more just stupid videos. It's a very culture war centric day here. So Bud Light, ladies and gentlemen, has a new advertising campaign for the summertime, okay? So during spring, they were the gay drink, and everyone's like, it's so over for Bud Light. Well, let's see how Bud Light is recovering their brand. Let's check it out, all right? Check this out, guys. Hold up, let me play it. All right, check this out. It'll let me scroll here. It's Jover. Okay, well, you basically get the idea. Just check this out. Actually, you know, I'm gonna mute the music so that way. Oh wait. Oh, that's why. Hold on. I gotta actually allow you to see it. There. Sorry, I had some settings wrong. That's why I was doing that. All right. Here's the Bud Light thing. Check it out. I'm gonna actually mute the audio so that way, you know, it's because it's copyrighted. But just imagine that a song is playing in the background, okay? It's like a disco song or something. Here you go. Check it out. So everyone is like, oh wow, very hot. They're using Bud Light themselves. Of course, that right there really demonstrates heterosexuality, right? Because they're trying to recover from the Dylan Mulvaney thing and appeal to, you know, straight men again. But, you know, this thing right here, I mean, look at this. Look at this. Okay, you know, we're just going to play the audio. We'll play the audio so that way you guys get a better idea. Okay, whatever. I'll just mute it or whatever on the flip side. Check it out. All right. So chat, how do we feel about this? How do we feel about this? Obviously, I don't forgive Bud Light whatsoever, but I'll go further than that. This ad actually did a very poor job of trying to recover their image, because if their whole thing is, oh, they're not the masculine drink anymore, everyone jokes, it's the gay drink, it's the woman drink, whatever, and if their primary audience, right, is like straight men, right, you understand this, all I saw in that video actually are a bunch of men being emasculated. So, I mean, notice this. Let's go through this frame by frame. So, this guy, he's hot. He's like, oh, it's so hot. Okay, he's cooling with Bud Light. Okay, fine. But then like this, it just looks, you know, here's a guy just looking stupid, right? A guy looking stupid. Oh, wow, look at these females. They're carrying the keg. Very empowering, guys. Feminism, girl boss. Now they're carrying the Bud Light keg. So, you know, very empowering stuff there. Okay, you got the woman sunbathing and barely wearing anything. So that does work technically. For the Bud Light demographic thing. But, okay, here's this guy. Here's a guy falling off the board. Ha ha ha, so funny. Here's a dude screwing up again, dropping all the food. And then just a woman on the screen, I don't know. And then look at this. Look at this. Notice this, okay? You guys got to start paying attention to this when you watch advertising, because actually, though, it's not just this commercial. Very often you'll notice the white guys, and particularly very often, actually, the guys, very often, particularly those specifically the white guys for a certain reason, you notice they always get emasculated in like every single commercial. So check this out, okay? This one right here, the wind is blowing over the food or whatever. The woman is unscathed. Look who's getting like hit and screwed up. It's actually the guy, right? And then this guy, here's another guy just acting stupid. Very effeminate looking guy too, you know, total hippie. But here he is acting stupid. He falls off the hammock, right? Oh no, the basketball got stuck. Oh, here's this guy getting splashed, okay? Literally, I watched this whole ad and it's just a bunch of men like getting emasculated, looking weak, looking stupid, whatever it is, getting made fun of. And perhaps in a bubble, it's like, okay, who cares, Vince? You're making too big of a deal out of this. They're just trying to be funny or quirky or silly. I understand that. But when you're a brand who, you know, just came off this whole scandal where you pissed off a bunch of dudes, specifically you pissed off a bunch of men, this is not what you need to be doing, right? Like, okay, their recovery ad where they tried to do the whole America thing with the, you know, the horses and all that. It was like, it was insincere, as you could tell. It's very insincere, but at least it worked. At least they knew who they were trying to get back, demographically speaking. Here I just see a bunch of dudes act like getting punked, like they're being stupid. But let's go through here more frame by frame. Here's another dude. Oh no, I spilled on myself. Haha, I'm so quirky. Okay. And again, you know, oh, well, I can barely hold it, guys. Take it. Right? Oh wow, I've made it now into the hammock. Okay, well, wow, so good. and an easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Bud Light's not very easy to drink, by the way. It's disgusting. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. It not only, like, obviously they could do anything at this point unless they go full scale and say it was all wrong. We disavow Dylan Mulvaney. We disavow all this ideology, which they're never going to do. Then Bud Light will never be forgiven. Okay, and we understand that. But I am actually shocked at the level of incompetence in that ad, because I would think every ad, if I were Bud Light, every ad I'd be doing from here on out is going to be masculine, America, bald eagles, AR-15s, freaking all this stuff, right? I'm going to do everything. And here in this ad, all I see, and again, this is not just a Bud Light thing. Most commercials you see in corporate advertising nowadays, you'll see men getting emasculated. You'll see men looking stupid. You'll see the feminism, implicitly. Even if there's no political message directly, very often you will see it. But for Bud Light to be doing that now, after, they're trying to recover their brand and they think this is going to be the answer going into the summer, absolutely not. I think it's going to be another summer of loss for Bud Light. And I mean, they need to just pack it up at this point, to tell you the truth. The brand's been dying for a long time, which the VP admitted, the marketing girl admitted. It's just not going to come back. And they keep on just blundering. I don't know how it's possible. It's phenomenal. But, all right, there's the Bud Light stuff. Let's get on here now to Super Chats, ladies and gentlemen. Burgundy Blue for $2 says, Vince, it wasn't muted, lol. I realized that very later on in the thing, but it was too late. I'm just going to run with it. And actually, you guys just were hearing things. You guys were hearing things. I think you guys might be schizophrenic, because I don't know what you're actually talking about. King Kairos, that is fake news. Bud Light. Bud Light. I was about to say Bud Light for $10. Sorry, Friendly Medic. Friendly Medic for $10 says, if Bud Light wants to be the masculine drink again, then they need to bring the most hetero man in the world. Beer and soybean Lee. So true, hey, Friendly Medic. So true. Okay? He will be the face of Bud Light. He already is the face of Bud Light. We know this to be true. So yeah, this is real. Super chat of the night there. That is so and so true. Thank you for the $10. All right, well, wanted to move on here a little bit. Let's go back. Hold on. Should we? I didn't actually have it prepared tonight, but I did want to mention this. Let's just briefly talk about this, okay? Let's just briefly talk about this. So here we go. The USDA, folks. Okay, so you may have heard this discussion for the past few weeks, months, about synthetic food. So we have the news today. Again, I don't have the graphics prepared for this, but let's just talk about it. The USDA has greenlit lab-grown meat for public consumption. Okay, I'm pretty sure other countries have specifically banned this, or I could imagine are going to ban it. But yeah, the USDA has now allowing lab-grown meat for public consumption. This is, of course, very telling on, I actually sort of predicted this, because remember a few weeks ago, we reacted to the USDA actually changing their building in front of DC to the pride flag. Do you guys remember that? We talked about that here on this channel, and I said it actually works. It does work, because the food in this country is turning everyone gay, so it certainly does work that, the food is actually the USD gay. Okay, it is so true. But yeah, here we have it now. The USDA is allowing for lab-grown meat to be made for public consumption, and it really just... Everything in this country, I don't even want to talk. We'll talk about it some other time, okay? The story's going to be there. But everything in this country is poisoning you, to tell you the truth, okay? And, now that I think of it, it's an important segment. I should actually, prepare it. So we'll talk about it in a future show. But just so you know, the USDA is now allowing lab-grown meat. Now, here's what I'll warn you. When you're going through the shelves, I know what you're thinking. I'm just not going to pick it up. It's going to be made under very deceptive labeling. So that's what you really got to pay attention to, okay? Read the fine print, because the food in this country is poison, and they actually mislead you about the poison that's in your food too, okay? And really, I hate to be anti-American. It really is a exclusively American thing. We have the most corrupt food system on the entire planet Earth. I would venture to say that. Maybe China, they have a lot of I know they have a lot of lead in their food, but I still honestly think the United States is probably worse in this regard. And it is so corrupt, because everything in this country, the USDA says it's safe, the FDA says it's safe. It's literally a matter of this corporation paid to have this study done that proves it to be safe. They show it to the USDA, it's fine. And then you wonder why America has so much cancer, so much obesity, all this stuff. We are literally being poisoned in our food. Very common preservatives that are in our food are banned in other countries. Like, you know, some of the colors we use and stuff, you know, they're actually banned in UK, EU, because they say in those countries it's carcinogenic. It causes cancer. And then in this country, it's like, you know, we eat it all. So start paying attention to the stuff that's in your food. That's all I'm going to say on that front. And it's very scummy. It's very scummy. RFK is the only one who talks about it, but it's a very important issue. We are killing our own civilization, you know? You wonder why male sperm count is so low, testosterone is so low. Well, considering there is phytoestrogen in literally everything, including the freaking paper receipts you touch. Yeah, it's no wonder, right? We're killing our civilization, and for what? Perhaps it's all an elaborate psyop. That very well could be the case, because they're trying to do that, and I'm sure there's truth to that. But really, also, to a large degree, what does it come down to? Because our country is so bought out by corporate interests and by money that so-and-so corporation, hey, sunflower oil, we want to put seed oil in the food, and so we'll make up this whole myth about heart disease. You know, we'll go on, we'll do all this stuff, and we'll tell people it's safe. Hey, look, the USDA approved it. We'll do all this stuff literally just because, yeah, like I said, maybe there's a psyop to it, but to a degree, it's also just a matter of, well, it saves us money. And so you're literally killing your civilization in the name of saving money, and probably, like I said, part of it's probably deliberate too, but still, right? And then on the flip side, you know who else benefits from Americans dying because there's so much cancer in all of our food is Big Pharma. Because now when everyone gets cancer, who do they need to run to for the drugs, the medicine, the treatment? And so they make money. And so there's this whole industrial complex in this country where we're literally all dying. We're all dying. We're all infertile, all this stuff. And our federal institutions benefit from it all. And the government sits around and just allows it and entertains it and takes money from it. It's ridiculous, okay? It is, in fact, you know, the other night I talked about how it's harder for me to become patriotic, not in the genuine sense, but in like that raw cliche sense. You remember that whole segment. That's part of the reason why. That's part of the reason I'm so disgruntled with the state of our country, not just because of the cultural stuff, but because when you learn and find out that your government that is supposed to be all about freedom and we're the freest country, all this stuff, and prosperity, and hey, look, we're representative government, so the people care here about, you know, our government cares about the people, of the people, for the people. And then you find out that there's state-sanctioned poison being fed to all of us, and we're all getting cancer for that reason. And literally, your government, through the food system, is trying to kill you. And it does make you disgruntled with it all, huh? But anyways, it is 8:43 p.m. We will go on here to Super Chats. We may even do some call-ins. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, we got time. We ended relatively early tonight. It was slightly quieter of a news day. But let's get caught up here now on the Super Chats. Burgundy Blue for $10. Thank you very much. Says, Vince, I watched this meme YouTube channel today, and 85% of the memes were about how 5 people, including the 19-year-old on the Titan submarine, deserve to die because they were rich. Thank you for the $10. Yeah, I mean, I showed it in the beginning of the show, but the same thing here. Same thing here. This guy says, I don't want to make light of a tragedy, but there's a certain poetic justice in watching a company that scoffed at safety measures and filled a vessel with crazy rich people. By the way, not all the people on the Titanic were crazy rich. That's historically illiterate, but okay. Getting into trouble while trying to go gawk at remains of a company that scoffed at safety measures. Blah, 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 blah. They were rich, haha. We killed the rich. We killed the rich. We ate the rich. And it really is, you know, all the people piling on here. It really is cope, frankly, by unimpressive people who have never lived impressive lives and will never live impressive lives, right? You know, it's like, oh, wow, how dare you die exploring the ocean and pushing the limits of human discovery? Which, again, you know, personally, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. I'm not a big ocean guy, you know? I'm fine dying in the skies, ideally not because we have a diversity hired pilot, but I'm fine dying in the skies or, you know, on a rocket or, you know, a fighter jet, something cool. I'm not a big ocean guy. I think I don't have the Anglo-Saxon explorer blood in me, you know? That's what it is. I'm like, I would never want to get in a submarine to begin with, even before this situation. But with that said, Am I going to use that to pile on? Or am I going to say, that's pretty cool. They were rich and they were, they could have just sat inside and sat on their money, but instead they wanted to push the limits of human discovery, see something that most people will never see, go see history in action, literally go witness archaeology. And you're going to dunk on that. Why? Hey, but bro, they died I won't call it heroic. It's not heroic, but it's noble in my opinion for that reason, because they died exploring the world, right? It's whatever. Okay, they died this memorable death. Bro, I'm gonna die totally forgotten in a nursing home, with kids who don't even care about me or visit me. That's so much better, bro. It's like, no, you're actually, what it is you're a loser, It's true. The people dunking on their death, I understand, there are aspects of this, the safety, all that stuff. I brought that up. There are conversations to be had. But the people who are just fundamentally like, how dare these people go explore the Titanic? You just live a sad existence. Why not? Why not go explore the Titanic? What's wrong with you? And ironically, these are the very same people who will go to some timeshare in like Cancun and say they're exploring the world. Oh, I'm exploring the world. I'm getting culture. I'm making experiences because I went to Europe and went backpacking and took a selfie. Lame. You're lame is what it is, right? These Chads were like, let's go see the freaking Titanic because why not? Like, that's cool. Again, rest in peace, tragic, but I'll give them, at least that's a cool way to go out. I don't even know who these people were, but I'll remember them in a memorable light just because, you died seeing the Titanic. That's explorer blood. That's cool. That's memorable, So it is true. It is true. But thank you for the $10, Burgundy Blue. We are now doing the super chat portion of the show, so you got questions or comments that you want read and answered on the stream, feel free to send it in via these super chats. We are now open to Q&A, ladies and gentlemen. But Burgundy Blue for $10 says, I'm not the biggest fan of the rich. I'm an interventionist on economics, but this is incredibly macabre and psychotic and says a lot about society. Thank you for the $10. I'm a fan of the old school rich people. Okay? I'm a fan of the old school rich. And I talked about this earlier today, actually. On Twitter, I should say. We are living right now in Revenge of the Nerds. That's the big thing here, because all of the people nowadays in society, all the rich people are the nerds. Bill Gates, total DNG, dork, nerd, geek. That Peter Hotez guy. Hi, I'm actually a scientist. I won't debate you, RFK. I'm a scientist. Anthony Fauci, freaking Klaus Schwab, whatever. Because why? The vast majority of super duper wealth in America today is made through what? Tech. You invent Facebook, you invent Twitter, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And so that's a problem, right? Because before, in order to be rich, you had to actually be a sociable, likable, cool person. Because you had to close a deal. That's how people used to get rich, right? You started a business, you had to negotiate, you had to make deals, you had to organize it, right? It wasn't just a matter of, I programmed this app, and then look at my app, and I'm a dork nerd geek. Hey, look at my app, guys, look at my app. And that's how you got rich, right? And the problem with that, the problem with us living in Revenge of the Nerds right now, and you wonder why now they're trying to force you to eat synthetic meat and all this nonsense and go vegan or whatever, climate change, is because there is something to be said that about what I will call autistic genius. And I don't say that as an insult. I mean in a genuine sense. Most people who are super duper smart genuinely are when you go past a certain IQ, almost everyone you meet is going to be on the spectrum. They're going to be autistic, right? And one of the issues with autism and being like autistically smart, and I'm not using this to insult autistic people. It's just it's a part of the condition, right? They have a hard time understanding emotion, human to human interaction, being social, all that stuff, right? Which is why my thought on geniuses like that is that they shouldn't run the world, right? They should help us. We should use them in the right places, use them to build the tech, use them to advance society. But the idea that someone like a Bill Gates, who deep down, maybe it's not his fault, but deep down in some ways you could argue is like an inhumane sociopath, right? When you just tell them, hey, you're so smart, you founded Microsoft, go run the world for us. What happens? You're now in Revenge of the Nerds. You are in Revenge of the Nerds, where all the people who rightfully throughout their lives got bullied for being like, hi guys, I'm Bill Gates. Hi Bill, I'm Bill Gates. Nice to meet you. For all the people got bullied growing up for being like that, being antisocial, not from the norm, whatever. Now they're given all the power. Now they literally run the world. And what's happening? Partly they're taking their evil, mad scientist revenge on the world. That's part of it. But I think another part of it too is literally just they don't understand humanity, right? Because they're, like I said, like they're geniusly autistic to a fault on their part, where they can't really understand the stuff. So Bill Gates doesn't understand why don't people want to eat my synthetic meat, but it's technically good for you, and you know what I mean? Because without someone to keep super duper geniuses like that in check and say, look, listen, like, you don't get it, okay? Go build this for us instead. Once they're given all the power, they don't know what the heck they're doing. And I think that's what you're witnessing today. I don't remember how that conversation, that's how it started. That's all to say, right? That's why I don't respect the new class of rich people. It's just the worst, right? The old class of rich people were cool. Donald Trump, freaking king. Look at him. Look at him in his limousine and his freaking, you ever seen Trump in the 80s? Like that guy, I'm like, that guy's cool. That guy's really cool, And there are other cases of it, but that guy's cool, But the people today, every rich guy today, it's like, hi, I'm Mark Zuckerberg. Beep, boop, beep, 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 boop. And they run the world. They really do, because, the richest people have the most influence, and that's part of the problem. We are in Revenge of the Nerds. Revenge of the DNGs. It's real. Burgundy Blue for $2 says China has a lot of bat in its food, I've heard. Oh, they have bat in food. Oh. Thank you for the $2. That is true. That is, or so I have heard in a certain central region there. Friendly Medic for $5 says thoughts on MAGA communism and people like Jackson Hinkle. I mean, overall, I think MAGA communism is just a LARP. It's really what it is. It's a LARP. Bro, like, let's have communism like the historic enemy of anything right wing, and we'll make it like based. Bro, don't you know, like, Joseph Stalin actually persecuted the Orthodox Church for several years and actually had like a no tolerance policy of religion during the 1920s and 30s. But actually, he was based, bro. He was. MAGA communism is a LARP. It's first of all, how are you going to sell that to any right winger in this country? Hey, I'm a MAGA communist. It's like terminally online. Like, where did you even come up MAGA communism, and that's what you're gonna call it? So like Jackson Hinkle, I'm not super duper familiar with him, but that's my general take on the MAGA communism thing. It's all just a LARP. It is, and then we're gonna basically be like just straight out like Russian nationalists, like not like, I understand the war and all that, this like there's nuance there and whatever, but you're gonna straight up basically just be like, you barely talk about American politics, just talk about like Putin all day long. I think it's all a big LARP, and it's nonsense. It really is nonsense. And by the way, half of their economic ideas, this is the thing, right? Is, yes, I am not a libertarian. I think, we shouldn't worship the free market. But half of their economic ideas from all these like niche ideologue types in that world. Bro, let's have like a bunch of inflation and make it impossible to start a family and all. But it'll be based, because it's not communism. It's MAGA it's a LARP. I think it's one big LARP. But thank you for the $5, Friendly Medic. That's my general take on MAGA communism. Okay, Small Graydon Guy for $2 says, are you picking Zuck or Elon in the cage fight? All right, hot take. All right, I'm obviously rooting for Elon. Elon miles ahead of Zuckerberg. But unless Elon really trains hard, right now I think Zuckerberg has the advantage. Because Zuck has been, if you guys don't know this, I've heard this for years actually. He's actually been training MMA. Like, he's actually been gotten in the cage, like straight up cage fighting, Which I don't like Zuckerberg. He needs to stop censoring me. But, is respectable. I'll say at the very least. Elon Musk is probably bigger, right? Zuck is a skinny little thing. Elon Musk is bigger, but I don't think he's very in shape. I think he's actually just a little chubby, and that's the thing. So if he has the bulk, right? If he actually trains it, he'd probably be stronger than Zuck. Zuck probably, though, is fast, and Zuck has a lot more combat experience than Elon, because I don't know if Elon's been practicing training the cage fighting, but I know Zuckerberg has, okay? And also, the thing about Zuck, right? I brought up the thing earlier, that like inhumane robot anti-socialness. He's probably like underratedly strong. You know what I mean? He probably is. So, if I were to be honest, I think that Zuck would win in this fight, but it depends on how much Elon trains. But Elon is okay. Elon, if you're not watching this, but hypothetically, you got to get in the gym hard because Zuckerberg has been training. I know that. A lot of you guys don't know that. I know that. I've heard that before. So, you know, he has the experience. He has the edge. Elon's got to spar. He's got to lose a little bit of weight, but he's got the bulk. He's probably stronger than Zuckerberg, you know, so he does have that going. But his cardio is probably terrible. He probably tire out very fast. He's big. He's probably stronger, but I'm sure he's slow, you know. So Elon's got catching up to do. I'm obviously rooting for him, but I would not favor him in the fight at this current moment, but we'd have to see. Burgundy Blue for $10. Thank you very much. Burgundy Blue says, have you heard of Andreas Krieger? She was an East German female athlete who was forcibly trans by the communist government through doping in order to make her win all her competitions, foreshadowing today's leftists. Real and true. Thank you for the $10, Burgundy Blue. So I guess she was a woman, but they gave her male hormones to compete better than all the other women. That, by the way, that's the most Russian thing I've ever heard. You know how the Russians are crazy about their Olympics and gymnastics and all that stuff, and you know the doping scandals. It's funny because Rocky IV, you have Ivan Drago, and people are like, that's just a caricature. Is it really though? They do a lot of doping. It is true. So thank you for the $10, Burgundy Blue. I've never heard of that, but that's quite interesting information. Thank you for sharing. JD. For $5, thank you very much, says, we complain about illegal immigration, but are they illegal if the government allows them in? Government claims they are asylees. Are refugees illegal? Thank you for the $5, JD. I mean, you do have a good point there. All the people we claim are here illegally, in many cases, are actually being allowed in through asylum claims. Now, with that said, most of them still are technically illegal because they overstay, right? They're supposed to have a court date, usually, and they don't show up for the court date. So I guess in that sense, they are still technically illegal. But yeah, it is true, right? The government certainly sanctions everything you see here. So, you know, they barely are. They're basically the state-sponsored, guest workers at this point. When it is true, you do have a good point. That basically is what it is. Burgundy Blue for $2 says Zuck also has all those cybernetic implants. That is also true. He is the lizard person, as we know. He's the lizard person. So, you know. He'll just... You ever fought a lizard? It's like fighting a Komodo dragon. Komodo dragon will freak you up, you know? It's like fighting an alligator. I'm gonna go box an alligator. Oh, hey guys, I'm Elon Musk. I'm gonna go and box this alligator. Zuck just transforms. I don't know. Elon's gotta come up with something, you know? Elon's gotta come up with something. Sheeny Beanie for $2 says Zuckerberg would win because he's a lizard man. Oh, did I already read that? Yeah, no, true. Friendly Medic for $2 says Elon should get Sam Hyde as his trainer. Unironically true. I'm gonna kill you, Zuckerberg! Joking. I'm imitating him YouTube for the record. But yeah, no, but also, that's not even a joke. Because Sam Hyde fought the way that that Elon should fight, right? Because Elon, he's kind of like wide, he's like bulky, you know? Just turn that bulk into strength and just like swing. Like that, you know, that was Sam Hyde. He swung. He would not stop swinging. He got tired out very fast. You remember that. But he had the strength, right? Yeah, he's strong and big. So unironically, that, in my opinion, is how Elon should take down Zuck. You know, Zuck can be like, whoosh, whoosh, Meta. That's what he says every time he punches, right? He throws the Harvard sidekick. Meta, fact check. Elon needs to just come in like community notes. Tesla. That's how he needs to fight. Andrew M says Vince Dow missed my super chat. Sorry about that. Let me see. Oh, here we go. Andrew M for 5 Canadian says thoughts on Hunter Avalon's divorce. His wife apparently left Hunter for yeah, thank you for the 5 Canadian. I was debating talking about that on this show, and then I was like, is it really I guess it feels so tabloid because it shouldn't even be real. It should not be real. But yeah, it is true. It is true. And then there's that whole thing about, you know, she was into that one kink that I'm not going to name, and it was she's just like a crazy nymphomaniac. And it's so funny though, because you may have seen this, Andrew. There's screenshots from Hunter from like 2019, 2020 for making fun of conservatives for saying that would happen to them. Oh, your wives all leave you for, and then it happened to him. So yeah, I can't say I'm exactly surprised by any of it, you know. I mean, the guy the whole time has been like, look, the woman herself is also a degenerate and traitorous and broke the marriage. But to a degree, you understand her too, because imagine having your husband be Hunter Avallone. Honey, actually, the statistics said that you don't have to, I shouldn't help you with the groceries because Anthony Fauci said that perpetuates sexism. Okay, Carissa? Okay, Carissa? Hey, actually, Carissa, actually, Carissa, I will not provide for this family because, right? So is it surprising that she's just like, yeah, I want a more masculine person, you know? Is it that surprising? You know, she's part of what happens. You're married to Hunter Avallone. I mean, what can I say? Well, see, here's the thing. I wouldn't be surprised if the same thing happens to Destiny. The issue is Destiny, they already have an open marriage. And so she's fine with it. So Destiny's just the, okay, honey, you know, here's your money. And then, so she's got that covered, and then she can go sleep with whoever she wants. So I guess she's got it covered already, you know. But yeah, it's not surprising to say the least. It's not surprising. And it really does go to show you, actually, I have facts and studies. Actually, you know, my life is good. I'm not a miserable person. I'm Hunter Avallone. Yeah, it's very surprising. Actually, he was quite a miserable person and is a miserable person. You can see it in him. Freaking puts on the glasses. Actually, transgenders are not any better in sports. Actually, seed oils are good. Actually, the USDA study said that seed oils were good for you. Actually. Of course, his wife's gonna be like, yeah, you know what, this guy, no. It's true. I don't support it. I don't support breaking off a marriage, but I understand why she did it. I understand what she was feeling. Because there's no female who could possibly be married to Hunter Avallone and not feel the same way. Now, it's her fault for marrying that, but still. It happens. What can I say? It happens. But anyways, here we go. Let's move on here. Other super chats. Burgundy Blue for $5 says MAGA communists when the communist East German government forcibly transes a 16 to 18-year-old woman. Yes, they started transing when she was 16. Thank you for the $5. Yeah, they're so like, oh, the Soviet Union was based. And like, it's true. Listen, I understand that the sort of social wokeness in some regards that America has today, it's so ridiculous that it wasn't even around in the Soviet Union. But do you understand that there was like a 100-year war against religion? You know, yeah, they opened up, you know, the moment they actually became more capitalist or whatever. I get it. But Joseph Stalin persecuted the Orthodox Church for several decades, okay? Communism, like old school communism, is not conservative. I mean, just look at it in aesthetics. Does it seem holy? Does it seem appealing? Does it seem conservative, right? All of the art, all of the culture that the Soviet Union ever produced was horrendously ugly. In fact, it looks a lot like what America produces today, but it's like, what art that did the Soviet Union produce that was noble, you know? We remember that. It was beautiful, you know? They didn't produce meaningful art. They did not produce meaningful culture, largely because the system was so broken there. They persecuted one of the most beautiful things that Russia had going historically as an empire, which was the strength of their Orthodox Church. They persecuted them almost into near extinction, and you know, by his grace, that did not happen very luckily, but still, right? And there's just these contrarian right-wingers who just want to go out there and say Stalin is based. Lenin was based. Kim Jong-un today is based. Like, I get it to a degree. I understand that, oh, well, they keep the Western degeneracy out or whatever. They didn't have the same problems. Okay, maybe. But you know who else didn't have the same problems? The actual conservative entities in history, i.e. the Russian Empire that came before, the Russian Revolution, right? If you want to LARP for anything, why not LARP for that? Why not idealize that, right? The old Russian Empire, the old British, the old European empires. Those were, if you want to talk about what is conservative, that's what's conservative. That's what's old school, not freaking the very ideology that sought to overthrow all of that. I mean, that's fundamentally what, Karl Marx and all the communists were in the early 1900s. Oh, we don't like the monarch. Oh, we don't like the tradition. We don't like the church. We don't like Christianity. So we don't like the current nation and the old school order of things. Let's overthrow it all. That's what, the old school communists were. I mean, that's what it was, okay? Oh, but Vince, they didn't have the same view as homosexuality as the modern left. Okay, it still doesn't make them quote unquote based. It's just ridiculous, And by the way, yeah, it's, we know, we get it. And even if you subscribe to certain ideas, why would you name your ideology MAGA communism? Because that's really what appeals to, because semantics do matter, and semantics appealing to people matters. Strategy matters, in my opinion. Optics, making your message presentable. So even if this is what you believe, why would you call yourself a MAGA communist? How do you expect to mainstream that? Okay? Because you know what? The vast majority of conservatives, I would argue, rightfully hear when they hear that. Oh, communism? Oh, like the historic enemy of Western civilization? The closest ideology historically to Satanism that there is really out there? Yeah, let me make that it's ridiculous. It's stupid. It is unbelievably stupid. Potato says, you missed Andrew's super chat. Thank you for the 2. Well, we did catch up on it. I appreciate it. Thank you, Potato Head. Pokey Mario, by the way, that is a Mr. Potato Head. That is also a Mario. Very interesting profile picture there, my friend, but I appreciate it. Dirty Mike for 2 says, also, you missed Andrew's super chat. Thank you for reminding me. We did get to it. Thank you for the $2. Sheeny Beanie for another 2 says, read Andrew M super chat. Well, we got them all, so I think we're all caught up on super chats here. Trotsky was an L, true. So was Lenin. Now, I understand Stalin was not as by-the-book communist as Lenin and Trotsky. That is true. I'll grant you MAGA communists that. But he also was sort of a brutal, psychotic leader who also greatly persecuted the Orthodox Church. Look up into it, 20s and 30s. People say, oh, well, he let up after World War II. He was apologetic about it. It's like ridiculous. Okay? Oh, wow. He stopped persecuting Christians and just ended up being neutral towards them. Round of applause. This is really the leader we should all look up to, right? It's just ridiculous. It is just ridiculous. Well, Potato Head, I'm not saying that, though, Potato Head. I'm responding to people who call themselves MAGA communists and say nonsense like they think Stalin, they claim to be right-wingers, and they say stuff like, oh, Stalin was the best leader of the 21st century. Stalin was based, actually. I'm a MAGA communist. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm responding to, I should say. Not what I'm saying. That's what I'm responding to. So I'm not, that's what I'm trying to say. Mr. Damage Control says, hope you got my $5 Vin. Did you send it on Streamlabs? Let me check. I haven't checked the Streamlabs in a while. Let's check on the Streamlabs for donations. I got one 10 days ago. I don't think I got one from you, Damage Control. Where'd you send it on? Is it a super chat? Is it Cash App? Did I miss something? Let me check the Cash App. Let's see. But yeah, MAGA communism is just a LARP. And let's seriously, just think about it practically. How are you going to call yourself that? It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Let me see. Let me see if we got anything here. I didn't get anything. I don't think I got anything, my friend. Unless you sent it on Venmo or something. Let me see. I don't see it on Venmo either. Oh, here you go. Oh, here. Did you send the five on Venmo? Thank you for the 5 on Venmo. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Is that where you sent it on? If that was you today, if that was you today who sent the 5, then yes, I did get it. Appreciate it. God bless you, man. Did you leave a comment on it? Oh, Sheeny, God bless, and I'll be praying for you. Thank you very much. Thank you, Sheeny Beanie, or whoever sent it. I don't know. You said Sheeny, God bless, I'll be praying for you. If that was you, thank you for the $5. I appreciate it very much. Let's see here. Burgundy Blue for $10 says, also Stalin's head of the NKVD, the KGB of the time, was Lavrentiy Beria, was a known pedophile, and the corpses of many underage women were buried near the building he worked at. Thank you for the $10. I mean, I didn't know all this stuff, but yeah. The Soviet Union was not based. Like, what do we want? Like, there's not a lot to say, right? It's just a contrarian take. Oh yeah, the whole heritage of conservative history, even back when conservatives still, believed in actual conservatism, like never at a point have right-wing forces in the entire history of the world liked communism or the Soviet Union. But now there's people who come along today and say, actually, I'm a MAGA communist. Actually, it is based, So, yeah, thank you for the $10, though. I appreciate it. All right, it is 9:11 p.m. here. We'll probably go to like 9:20, 9:25-ish, and then I'll call it a night here. So, last call for Super Chats, last 10 to 15 or so here. Be sure to send them in now or forever hold your peace until the next time we do the show. Like I said, no show tomorrow. May do something over the weekend. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to be live or pre-recorded yet. I've not decided that yet. But I will be... I will do something in Dallas, is what I will say. No, it was for me. Gosh, Vince, it's not always about you. Well, I was just wondering why he put your name. I was confused. I was confused. Someone said Sheeny Beanie has cancer. I didn't even know that. Well, I'll pray for you too, Sheeny Beanie. I'm sorry to hear that. I didn't know that. I was confused. Sorry about that. Praying for you, of course. JD for 2 says, have you heard of Heidi Mund, a Christian German? Thank you for the 2. I've not heard of her. Sounds like a girl. I've not heard of her. Who is that? Who's Heidi Mund? Let's search it up. Heidi Mund. Oh, I guess she let's see. I guess she's been protesting now in Germany against the refugee crisis and all that stuff. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. Not familiar. Just looked it up. We'll have to check her out sometime. But let's see here. I'm relaxing tomorrow because I mentioned I'm having surgery tomorrow. Well, hope it goes well, Sheeny Beanie. Praying for you. Hope you come out unfazed, 10 times stronger. Walk out the surgery bed like a G. Real and true. Real and true. Yeah, praying for you. Have a great surgery tomorrow, for sure, for sure. Forbes or Bust List says, I think they trolling you. My guess is surgery. I don't think she has cancer. I think it was surgery. I was like, I have cancer. What? So I don't know what's going on there, but we received the money. We received the money, so thank you very much. Let's see what else we got going on here in the chat. Again, last call for Super Chats. We'll end here in a few minutes. There's no such thing as a MAGA communist. Yeah, I mean, well, they're LARPers. Which for the older people, what live action role play, it means they're just like, they're kids trying to play a character, It's no different than a kid when they're like with the sword, I'm a knight, I'm this or that. It's ridiculous. It's silly, They're addicted to the dopamine that happens when they are contrarian as possible and they cause problems and get to debate people and make people mad. So they adopt the dumbest title ever and then they're like, actually, this is based. Actually, no, it's not based, though. It's not very based at all. It's, I don't know what to say about it. King Kairos for $2 says, better to support local produce or make your own. Thank you for the €2. Is that euros? King Kairos. I mean, I think ideally you make your own. Because still with local produce, I mean, it's better that it's local, but still you got to make sure. You don't know if it's grown through organic methods or grown through, you know, pesticides, GMOs, because that can still happen locally, right? If you just follow certain food standards. But what I will say is that obviously not everyone is able to grow their own produce, and so, you know, it's not you have to grow your own produce. But I think generally, if you're able to grow your own, it's probably better to grow your own. But, you know, it's up, you know, it's what you have the ability to do. Like, I live in an apartment. I'm gonna, bro, just grow an apple tree. Yeah, I'll just grow an apple tree right here. You know, that'll work great, as we all can expect. So yeah. Let's see here. Vince, I've been trying to grow a beard for a month now, but I have to say I'm not seeing much growing. Oh, I know you have been trying to grow a beard. I have not been trying to grow a beard, okay? There's been a few days where I've not shaved. This right now, I didn't shave for about like 2 days, 3 days, and you already see it. Stop the slander, Dirty Mike. Dirty Mike is basically just trying to say I don't have the testosterone to grow a beard, okay? That's what he's trying to get at. And it's actually not true. This is like 2 days of not shaving. One or 2 days, something like that. It's like 1 or 2 days of not shaving, and it already looks like this. I will not tolerate the slander. If this continued for a month, you'd probably see a beard, but not a fan. I'm not a fan of the beard on me. It looks good on other people. Even this, I just feel like it looks like nasty. I was just too lazy to shave it today, you know? But Asians, we don't grow our beards naturally grow patchy, so it wouldn't like fill in totally. It'd be like broken up, and it just would look weird. You ever seen an Asian with a beard that actually looked right, quote unquote? It just makes us look like hippies, you know, like the Asian with the long hair and the mustache. It just look like Confucius. If you can grow a beard, prove Mike wrong. Well, like I said, if we hit like 1 million subscribers or something, I'll grow a beard. But I don't particularly care to. I don't want to. Because I've said this before, part of it is a productivity thing with me, okay? When I don't shave on a regular basis, it just gets long and gross, and then I feel unproductive, like genuinely. Like, I get less done if I don't shave, because it's one of my routines that like wakes me up. Oh, I'm about to do something serious. You know those subconscious things in your head where if you don't do it, your whole day is screwed up? That's actually usually me with shaving. I can go like 1 to 2 days, but once I start feeling it getting freaking long here, I just become lazy. I associate it with like summer break back when I was in high school, where I just didn't do anything for several weeks and just sat there, and that's why my beard grows so long, you know? So a special occasion I may do it, but I don't have any wanting to really grow a beard. It's not an Asian guy thing. It's just not. I think most white guys out there look better with a beard, you know? Some black and Hispanic guys, they can pull the beard off. I've never seen it look good on an Asian. I've never seen an Asian guy pull off a beard. Never. Like, unless Mr. Miyagi, but he's old, you know? If you saw him when he was young, you'd be like, what the heck is he growing on his face? You know? So, it is true. Burgundy Blue for $5 says, I think Japanese statesmen from the Meiji Victorian era had full, thick beards, but the men back then were built different. Okay, but am I trying to... Yes, I acknowledge. If I grew a beard, I could look like Confucius. I could look like a freaking ancient warrior. But that's not the look I'm trying to go for, okay? I'm not trying to be like the MAGA communists who dress up in Soviet Union outfits and they're like, haha, it's so cool. It's like, no, people think you're just LARPing, which is what it would be. Bro, can you imagine that? Dude, your beard looks stupid. Your beard looks stupid. You look like freaking Confucius, bro. Bro, what do you mean? I'm like a samurai. Look at my sword. I do have a samurai sword. But still, look at my sword. People are like, no, that's a DNG. He's a DNG. He's a dork. So, you know. Andrew M for 2 says, after 200k subs, would you shave your head? No. No. I'm not shaving my head. That's not happening. No. And when I'm older, I might just go bald, you know? I don't know. Because if I lose it, then I'm just yeah, I could probably pull it off, but I'm not shaving my head. It's not happening. Ashley S says, "Don't let it get to your head. People suck sometimes." I'm not letting it. Well, no, it's my opinion. I don't like myself with a beard. I see you guys just keep trying to force what you want me to look like. I'm gonna look like what I want to look like. You know, I'm not gonna be this like YouTuber who's just basically a shill for the clicks and the super chats. So they're like, bro, you guys want me to like make myself look like a clown for your amusement? And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that because I have self-respect. I'd have self-respect, so it's not gonna happen. How many subs for you to shave your head? I would not shave my head because of a sub thing. No, it wouldn't happen. Literally, like you guys. Here's the thing: you guys literally just want me to shave my head because you think it'd be funny. You would like laugh at it, right? So you're asking, you're like, bro, please be my clown for me, and I'm like, no, I'm a political YouTuber. I'm not a clown for clicks. And then people are gonna get mad. No, you won't do it, bro. You won't do it, bro. Yeah, that's correct. That's correct, actually. I'm not a freaking clown for, you know. Because then the other thing is, look, if I went bald, I'd have to... The only way to look cool bald is to do what a certain character does and put on these glasses. Which is true. Which is true. I agree. But I'm not gonna just copy him, okay? I'm not gonna just copy you-know-who. All right, maybe one day, okay, maybe one day when he's old and whatnot, and he retire. I don't know if he's ever gonna retire, but if he retires, I'll be like, okay, all right, you know, it's like nostalgia, whatever. But that's the thing. That's the thing. I'd also just be copying, you know, our great friend, Mr. Producer, and I'm not gonna steal his style. Be like freaking Aiden Ross, trying to copy him. No, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. You know. So, Vince, you'd look like a potato with a shaved head. Yeah, probably. Why would I want to shave my head now? Because first of all, it might, you know, my hair might not grow back right or the same. Why would I want to do that now when I'm 20? Yeah, if I'm like 30 and like my hair is receding and all that, then I'll just, okay, fine, just get rid of it. Like, I acknowledge that's going to happen one day, but if you want that to happen, then stick around for the next 20 years and see what happens. Not going to do it just because you were freaking, you know. Potato Head says, dance, you, me, monkey, shave your head. Yeah, real. That's what they want. That's what it is. They're like, shave your head. Now, the beard, like, yeah, I understand the beard thing. Like, yeah, it's kind of funny. But, I'm not shaving my head. That's not going to happen. That would not happen. Burgundy for 2 says the Romanian government will force him to retire for life. But that's the thing. If I shave my head, then like, you know, then then the Romanian government might try to arrest me. They're gonna, you know, it's gonna be a mistaken identity thing, you know. So that's the issue here. Ghost Rider says, "What up? What up, Ghost Rider? We're actually wrapping up the stream, but glad to see you here." Kai Hybrid says, "Love your vids." Thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it very much. Now or never. No, it's not now or never. We'll be fine. Yeah, exactly. I think I look better with hair too. I think I could pull off being bald. By the way, that is one of the things that Andrew Tate did that is very nice for bald people is he actually made it cool, right? Like he made it a thing in a way. So that makes me feel better because if I'm older and I lose the hair, I'll just shave it. Fine. You can be cool. You know, he actually normalized it in men, which is fine. But I'm not gonna embrace that when I'm 20. That's just silly. It's just silly. Yeah, when I'm older, yeah, I'll be freaking Pitbull, be Andrew Tate, whatever. But I'm not gonna do that now. I wish Trump would shave his head and grow a beard. I think you just want to like imagine people with. I don't know, dude. You may even find more dates for premiere shows. Okay, I do just fine on that front. I don't need to change my appearance. That's part of the thing too. Okay, yo, Vince, you would have more riz. I do. I'm just I'm like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I don't fix it. Why I gotta fix it? It ain't broke. You know. So, That's the problem. Vin Diesel and Mr. Worldwide and Joe Rogan did it first. That is true. That is true. But I feel like the thing about Tate is he has a younger audience, right? So he made it cool for like young guys to do it. Yeah, that's kind of my point there. You look at an old guy, yeah, bald, whatever, fine. But he made it a thing. The Rizzler, yeah, real. I don't need to change tactics, okay? You know, maybe hypothetically, it's fine. It's fine the way it is. Fine the way it is. Fernandez says, women love shaved head on men's trust. Oh, do they? I see an LA Dodgers thing. Yeah, out there, yes. Okay, I know. But, I don't know if that's a universal thing, Fernandez. I don't know if that's a universal thing. But, okay, with that said, ladies and gentlemen, I think we're about winding down here. We got no more Super Chats for the night. Let me check Streamlabs just to make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, well, thank you to everyone who tuned in tonight. Yes, we are all caught up. All right, thank you to everyone who tuned in. That'll wrap up this episode of the Vince Dao Show. Be sure to join us. I'll let you know. Like I said, I'll let you know. Going to Dallas tomorrow. No stream tomorrow, most likely. Probably not. But we'll do something in Dallas, okay? Got a few creators. We might collab. Might do a cigar stream with the KGB boys, or I don't know. We'll figure out something. But yeah, all right. It'll just stay posted, okay? Just check on the channel. What can I say? All right, but leave a like before you go. Let's get the stream to 150 likes before the end of the show. And until next time, folks, have a very good night. Alpha moves only. God bless. If I don't see you on the regular stuff, I'll see you Monday night, same time, same place, 8 p.m. Eastern time. And until then, Alpha moves only. God bless. Just said that. Have a very good night and peace.